is Conrad. Yesterday we were at Breezy Point, New York, and the Rockaways, and we were checking the area out. As we went there, we noticed still the same thing, many homes. The total number of homes and all that was affected by Sandy is over 300,000, is the numbers that have come in. Currently, as I've gone up and down the coast and share my experiences in Mississippi with many of the families and the group leaders, I come to the same conclusion. Very few people have thought about their rebuilding. As I go into the homes and see the families, struggling to get back as quickly as possible into their homes, and I look at the work has been done in their homes, I notice that they're repeating the same mistakes. I realize that when we're displaced, that many of the families are just trying to get back into their normal life, get back into their home. The problem with that is if we don't rebuild in a smart manner, a manner that the next time this happens, all of the work that we've done is going to have to be replaced again. We're going to spend the same amount of time being displaced from our home, or we could take a few simple steps to making the process less painful. One of the things that I look at is it's insane to rebuild, and rebuild in the same way that was destroyed. If we just put sheetrock up, next flood that comes, that's going to have to be replaced again. It's insane to think that we're not going to have another storm again. Sandy wasn't even a hurricane, or just minimal one hurricane. What happens when the next hurricane is a 2 or a 3, or Katrina was a 3 when it hit land, but it was a 5 out in the Gulf. Okay, the difference is the water had already started moving, and once you get water moving, it's going to keep moving and building momentum. Okay, so what do? If you're a volunteer coordinator, if you're LTR, long-term recovery, and you're helping these families rebuild, then you need to know, that there are smarter ways to rebuild. It impacts the insurance companies, and the next time a storm hits this area, if we don't raise our homes to the BFE and take the chance of rebuilding as is, okay, then let's build smarter. We can do that, okay? There's simple things that can be done. By simply replacing the sheetrock with mold-resistant sheetrock, green board, yellow board, that's mold-resistant, moisture-resistant, okay, that inhibits the mold. As we were going through mucking out the dozens of homes already, there was mold growing on the back of the sheetrock, okay? Regular sheetrock isn't designed for that. Instead of using insulation, if we'll go and you can go to the extent of spray foam, closed cell foam, in the walls, or you can put the 2-inch solid foam sheets and cut them and put them in between the studs. That will still give you the value of a regular R13. You can double that if you want, to gain more. If you're having to replace the floor, okay, then don't replace your floor with regular plywood. Okay, if you use regular plywood, okay, that's going to swell. It's going to delaminate. Okay, there's materials that are more greener, like OSB, oriented strand. And you say oriented strand, you think that that's not a good choice, but or the technology of oriented strand and the glues that they use, the Gold Bond flooring can actually be submerged in water for weeks and not delaminate. It's been known to be underwater for a year and still not delaminate. Okay, better choices. Okay, the thing is if we can put products in the home that don't inhibit mold growth, okay, then we don't have to replace that again. Okay, many of the homes that we repaired in Mississippi, after Mississippi we had Ike, Gustav, and other storms that came through, okay, that flooded areas. There's nothing more frustrating than to have to repeat the process again, okay. Homes that we took the time to put the green board, to put the foam insulation in, they went in there with a garden hose and washed everything down, okay. We actually built kitchen cabinets where the boxes of kitchen cabinets were made out of treated plywood, okay. Big difference. They were, after the storm, the boxes were removed off the wall, washed off, and put back in place. It only seems to me that as the rebuilding goes on, not too many people are looking at how to rebuild in a smarter fashion. Take your hot water heaters. You had to replace your hot water heaters, okay, and now somebody tells you, we're going to put it back in the same place. Doesn't make any sense, okay? Move and locate that hot water heater up above where you were flooded, okay? In Mississippi, we took those things and moved them up, okay? Why? In case it ever flooded again. Air conditioning units, the same thing. We actually built platforms outside of the house that would put the condenser unit, you know, up above the BFE, okay? BFE, what is that? That's the base flood level elevation, okay? That's, right now the maps are still being drawn, but just because we don't have to build and the cities aren't requiring us to build it and say that we can just rebuild like we did, why don't we build a little bit smarter? Okay, why don't we build and prepare? Okay, because when that new map comes out, that affects everybody's insurance. So if you go ahead and take the precautions now and move those mechanical items up higher, it's going to save you later on down the road. You already know how frustrating it is to be displaced and not able to get back into your home, or living in a home that has a sheetrock cut out. Okay, so build smarter, you know. Do things that next time. How do I limit my displacement time? Okay, we actually in Mississippi put 2x8 baseboard down, so that the baseboard could be removed, the wall studs could be exposed, so that you could actually spray there and wash out the wall sections. People don't realize that when your house is flooded, okay, the water that comes into your house carry microorganisms, bacteria, you know, silt, you know, from the water. And when the walls are removed, that material gets deposited inside the wall cavity. You know. Okay, what does that mean? It means if you don't get it out, you're going to always have a musky smell in your house. Okay, I realize that you're anxious to get back in your home, okay, and I'm here to promote methods, okay, that will help shorten that time frame, okay. There's nothing that we can do about future flooding unless we elevate our houses, unless we build levees, okay. Well, if you build levees, then you can no longer see the water. Then what's the use of being where you're at, okay? So if we're going to spend the money to rebuild, you know, my advice is to build smarter, okay? There's actually a board called Aquaboard. It's kind of pricey, about 3 times as much as regular sheetrock per sheet, okay? The thing is with that board It could be submerged underwater for weeks, months, and still not delaminate. Those are the kind of products that you want to use. Those are the kind of products that you want to utilize. Okay. If you're one of the things that I see is that many people who are aiding in recovery, aren't familiar with this. Most of the contractors aren't familiar with this. Why? Okay, because it's not their concern. Okay, it's not, to them it's money in their pocket. And so if next year you have to do it all over again, it's just more money in their pocket. Okay, it's not saying that every contractor doesn't care. Okay, but unless you've experienced the situation, which 6.5 years in Mississippi, this is some of the things that I've experienced. I've experienced rebuilding a family's home. I've experienced having to go back and replace items again, okay? Very frustrating, okay? Our weather, our climate, things are changing, okay? We cannot no longer afford to rebuild the way that we did in the past, okay? Now we have to start adapting to our climate and making the changes that are necessary. If you have any questions, look us up on Facebook. We're Soluntions, or look us up on our website, Soluntions 2012. Thank you.